and get into character.
And that's what's wrong with Batman. Okay, what are we recording?
Oh my God.
I have to leave that in. I'm sorry you did this.
For people who just joined us, we were literally
And we
having
will and we will
talk.
never explain.
I will. We were having an off-talk mic about the new publishing initiatives and how I love superheroes, but love the new space as well. So that's all.
Well, welcome to Gate Crashers, a podcast dedicated to kicking open the door to your next favorite thing. Our mission, our creed, and our code is this: to make all things more approachable and accessible to everyone. We want you to find a universe that you'll fall in love with. Today, I get to talk about one of my favorite topics ever, minor threats, but with a new motley crew for the anthology series Welcome to Twilight. First up is the artist whose work won Bram Stoker's award for Carmilla, the First Vampire. The artwork for this series belongs in the Louvre. You also may know her work from Maleficent, Chitara, and some absolutely terrifying stuff from the Star Wars universe in Tales from the Dark Side, Soo Lee. And the writer who you
Thank you.
also probably know from things like Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men, Daredevil, but more importantly for me, infamous Iron Man, Powers, Scarlet, and so many other comics. The the one and only B Money himself, Brian Michael Bendis. Hello, both of you. How are you?
Hello.
Good. Thanks for having us. Also, I have to like the teenager in me is like you said Bram Stoker, and
Did
I
I?
thought that was no, I think that's like amazing. I love that.
That's
And you
funny.
should keep it in, and I will not
I'm going
correct
to.
you.
Listen, everybody's stroking something sometime.
I love that.
We've already started with a lot of chaotic energy, so we're gonna go right into it. Brian,
Welcome to
you have been on the show before once before, but Sue, you
Mhm.
have not. So I am very well known for being a hard-hitting journalist. So I always like to start my interviews with something very hard-hitting and tough. So I hope you're ready.
Okay.
What is your favorite sandwich?
Ooh. Okay, so I don't eat meat.
Very
I am a
interesting.
vegetarian. So for a long time, sandwiches were like, for me.
Okay.
But I do love I've been actually looking at pictures of like these vegan sandwiches people have been making, and I'm like, how do I make that? But I love a simple like a caprese sandwich, either with pesto or balsamic vinaigrette, toasted, cold. I don't know. I love a simple caprese style, just like basil,
So good.
tomato, mozzarella, some kind of sauce. I don't know. Even like, or like an eggplant parm.
Oh, I love an eggplant parm. I
Yeah.
the caprese sandwich. It's actually funny. I know you're from New York, and this is going to be kind of a sacrilege, but when I ever would go to Penn Station and leave New York to get on the Patco back to Jersey, I would always just grab one in the station, and they're not good, but like it was just like my train sandwich. Um,
Yeah, same.
it's just good. Sorry, my cat is just having the time of her life today.
Oh,
Now Brian, I had to think of
Yeah.
something unique for you, and you have done it.
Well, my answer is Pernani Brothers in Pittsburgh. I absolutely love them. I grew up with them,
Okay,
uh,
Brian.
and my children and I re we make them here in Portland. Like we go get like Five Guys fries because they're the
Mhm.
closest Pernani Brothers fries and shove them in sandwiches. It's awesome.
Huh.
ooh.
I'm close enough. I'm in Philly, so I'm close enough
Oh, have
to.
you not had a Pernani Brothers?
No.
Oh, make a trip. It's totally worth it.
I I feel like I've
It's an
heard the
old
name.
school it's like old school Pittsburgh. There was like they made a lot of headlines last year when like JD Vance went in there without a cup.
Oh,
But it is a classic Pittsburgh situation. So oh yeah,
right.
you
This
know
is
that name
awesome.
somewhere. Yeah. But
It's
it's a pretty famous place. And
uh,
here in Portland, there's a place called Tanaka, which is
mhm.
like a Japanese sandwich place. It's incredible. It's really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to think of something unique for you because you got to answer this
Sure.
before.
Sorry.
No,
I'll
it's
let
no, it's no, it's totally fine. But you've done it all. You've been around forever. You've done all these books. You've done every convention. You've done the world. What is the craziest thing a fan has asked you to sign?
Oh, well, my favorite, and I post it all the time, is someone brought me a dog to sign, and yeah, it's online. Just Google Bendis signs a dog; it's everywhere, and it's great because there's a great movie called Best in Show.
Oh, I
Um,
love that movie.
but
Great
at the
film.
end of the movie, they literally cut to the dog is being held up as the winner, and the dog just looks right at the camera as the at the last edit, and the dog looks like what the fuck, right? This woman brought a little dog for me to sign, and as I'm signing the dog, Uber fan Pat Lokia took the picture, and the dog looks right at the camera, like what the fuck? And it's just so it's me signing a dog, and the dog,
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Oh
Mhm.
my God. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
I,
That was pretty funny.
I wasn't part of the CGC grading that happened afterwards. I just
Yeah,
signed
oh my
it.
gosh.
Can you please put this dog in a plastic prison? It's fine. I need to get a 9.8.
No.
I will find the picture for you to post when you post it.
Thank you.
Oh
Um,
my God.
so you're both now part of the Minor Threats universe. It's been a little bit of time since you played in a shared universe, Brian. What
Yeah.
is it like returning to that after being out for so long? It's different,
Well,
you know.
yeah, one of the reasons I stepped aside from the shared universe is the realization that that mountain had been climbed for me. I had been able to do all of that I hope to do, at least for now, in that space. So, which is a weird feeling just in general, because I was so in that space and almost in a hyperactive level for years and years, right? So the step back and going, oh, did it? What else should we be doing? Kind of feels like when like you hear people talk about leaving Saturday Night Live, like your dream was to be on Saturday Night Live, and then you're done. And you're like, okay, yeah, done. Now let's move on to what your adult dreams are, not to like overstate how it felt. But it's a weird feeling to like be hyper focused on something and then relieved of it. And I said to myself, um, I'll only do non-creator owned work if it's a oh if it's a challenge both artistically and like if I feel inspired towards it, if it sparks if the author if the author sparks a joy, then I'll do it, right? And when I'm a big fan of Minor Threats, I'm a big fan of Patton and Jordan, fan of them individually. I'm a fan of their partnership. I'm a big fan of collaboration, and watching people bring the best in themselves is super cool. Um, so yeah, so when they offered, I was like, yeah, please. That sounds great. Also at this around the same time, um, I was really into Sue's work. Like I've taken it in. She knows this because we'd asked her to do some variant covers for us at Jinx World, at Dark Horse. Like I was really like there's something that happens it's not just that you go, oh, I like this work. It's if you, you know this feeling. You're a comic fan. It speaks to me. I'm into this. I'm into the line weight. I'm into the
Yes.
brushstroke. Like it's talking to me. I've had this with quite a few people in my life, and it makes you want to write towards it. Like I
Mhm.
and so when this came up, I'm like, oh, great. She's at Dark Horse. I'm at Dark Horse. It's, our mutual editor was putting it together, and this created a situation where we could team up together, create something from scratch on someone else's dime. So if it doesn't work, well, okay, one issue, we can get the hell away from each other if that's where it goes. But my deep instinct was that this will be a great opportunity for us to like see what our collaboration could be, and if maybe there's something in the future to go forward. And I've had this opportunity with some other people as well. Jacob, Edgar, and I did we were just thinking about starting a creator own, but it's scary because you're basically like, should we be making stuff together? Not that anyone's a jerk, it's just different
Mhm.
energy, and we got offered to do like a short story for heavy metal, and then 3 pages into that, you're like, okay, oh yeah, yeah, we're good. We can make comics for a long time. So this was an opportunity not only to share in the universe, and it was a great opportunity. It was an offer that like I hope this offer is really what they say it is, which is come add something to the new universe for realsies, and we'll celebrate it. And it was exactly what they said it was, which allowed us to freely create something from scratch that wasn't there before. It was a wonderful experience. So yeah, it was I took it because I was hoping it was a different experience that would be fulfilling, like both emotionally and creatively, and it was. Not to overstate the creation of a comic, but that's really,
Yeah.
when you're making these things, you're all in on them. You're like staring at it for weeks and weeks, and you just want to make sure that you're all the pieces are there for a potentially excellent experience, and they were, and it was. And to even like yesterday, where we're talking with Pat and Jordan, it was like, oh, we are at the end of this, and it was maybe just a brilliantly perfect experience of
I
creating. Yeah.
I have two things before I move on to the next question. Is that when you mentioned seeing Soo Lee's work, it's for me, and no offense to Maleficent, but I didn't give a shit about Maleficent. But seeing Sue's work, I was just like, this is fucking so good. It's just like there's so much movement, like it's just brilliant, and it just draws you into everything that she creates. And hearing you say that you two work well together is so nice because I know you work with the same artist a lot. So that makes me very happy. I had to text Jordan multiple times today and be like, "Are you sure this is just like a one shot? Like they're not doing another book after this because like it's so good. Like I want I want more."
Well, we
So
want more too. I'm of two minds. I want Sue and I are going to make more comics.
good,
Uh,
Oh,
that
100%.
is
I
on my
mean,
list of
this is
things
a
to do.
we
But
good.
literally shook hands on it, and I was like, "You have no choice anymore. You've offered it, and now he
you
has to live with the
Oh,
consequences."
but I am also a big fan of watching creators find their partners that I have in my life. So watching her with Amy Chu, my first instinct is get out of their way. Do not stop this beautiful tree from blooming, or
hmm
whatever metaphor I want to come up with. They're in the middle of something special that I have experienced. So you don't want to. I want to come in when it's
yeah.
good for them, if that makes sense. I know there's other partners in your life and the work she's doing with James Tinian. It's just these are things that I'm excited to see as well. So I'm gonna try to dance in between her raindrops and see.
No, no, don't worry. I'll always make room for you,
All right.
Brian.
You don't want to be a
You don't
hog.
have to ask.
What was it like? What was unique about creating in the Minor Threats universe? What did you like about the way these stories are being told? Specifically, like the themes you're able to explore with the characters you create.
Well, I have I have like with Powers with Mike Oming, I have a um similarly minded superhero universe with its own agenda and things that we're doing and point of view. And when people create these like new universes, for lack of a better term, um, the ones with a strong point of view are the ones that really sort of land with an audience for and reading those first issues of Minor Threats, you could see, oh, their point of view is so strong. They knew that, right? And we've watched over the years, like some people launch stuff and it's not fully baked yet, or the point of view isn't different enough from what's at Marvel or DC to really, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah,
so like, oh, you have a unique take. It is and what's great is when you find a take that can be explored from so many different angles that you'll never be bored with it, right? And so it's that plus it's early goings, and that was my biggest worry is that it's so early goings for Minor Threats that for us to add something to it, I hope they were really into that idea. Like it's something cool to think, but once it starts happening, you're like, wait, it's my baby. What are you doing to my baby? And I was so glad that they were as advertised totally into us putting something new into it. So it was um yes anding a couple of awesome comedians. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Like they came up with a great idea and we yes anded in a space we could have, but also it was an opportunity for me to come to Sue and say my favorite thing that I've learned over the years is when you're starting a new collaboration, what are you drawing? Like what's coming out of your what is naturally coming out of you in sketch mode? Like, even if you don't know why, show me. Like, what if you got a monster cooking and you don't have a name for it? You're like, if there's like just a jacket you keep drawing over and over again, like, like whatever it is. And from there, I have over the years, on many different occasions, found that excellent space that I can immediately like go, your passion brings me towards this idea that I know enough about myself to say I would not have gone down this road without you opening this door. And then I get super excited because now I'm in a space where I have to like really deliver because, and also what I'm selfishly looking for is take me somewhere I won't go on my own. Like I know where I go creatively. I know what drives me, and even if I read it when I'm done, going, oh, okay, I'm still working on that, and that God bless art for having that purpose. But I also like challenge. I like the challenge of I don't know if I can do this, and that's exciting. So I said to Sue like, hey, what, and she literally brought this character like to like she showed us this character and named it, and then from there I was able to craft a backstory that I was very into, just thinking about who Frankie was as a younger person. They hint at it strongly in the first graphic novel, and she's kind of a supervillain nepo baby. She's like things that clearly informed her, but have not been illustrated at great length. And having this character be basically Frankie's best friend in that time period of her life allows us to visit that time period of her life with a almost a romanticism. Like we're not looking at her at her worst, but actually this is maybe the best moment of her life is when she met her friend, right? And we all know that feeling where you're like somewhere you don't think that's what the day is going to be, and all of a sudden, oh, here's the person that's going to change my life for the next 30 years, right? And so to have all of this perfectly designed and thought out, uh, um, and Sue brings so much of herself into the character forward, it was really fun to start putting all these puzzle pieces together, both from Sue and Patton and Jordan, and all of them lined up together in a way that was hopeful. But then I was struggling with, I don't want to overwrite this. That's the big thing too, is like when you introduce stuff and you only have 20 something pages, you're like, your instinct is to like really get flowery. And I didn't want to, because I didn't think that's what these characters were. They were not verbose. And so that was my journey with all of this.
Yeah, and for me, well, it's tricky, right? Because they were literally like, do anything. I'm like, okay, well, when you're offered anything, it's harder to decide what you want to do in a way, for me at least. Because I'm like, well, it's like the world's our oyster and we can literally do anything. What does that mean? So, Brian came up with an idea, and then I was like, okay, how I like the idea, and then I had another idea, and then Brian had like a really smart way of tying it into the actual story. So like, Togepi becomes kind of indispensable almost in a way to the universe. And I thought that was really clever. But immediately my thinking is, okay, this is a universe full of like universes, right? There's like a million weird characters. What's the perfect thing that we could add on, that I could add my thing in? Is there needs to be a Chinatown. There's a Chinatown everywhere, right? And it's like it's a staple everywhere you go. For me at least, it's one of the biggest influences of my life, right? I live in like there's two Chinatowns in New York, and I live in one of them. So it's like I'm this is my life. Well, the Minor Threats universe is not my life, but and then two, we got to bring a little anime into Minor Threats, right? Like that's why the characters look the way they do. That's why the characters are very, like the designs are bombastic. It's very, bright and colorful. The entire world is like, right? Because Twilight is very. It has its own set of vibes outside of, like the main city and Minor Threats. But so I was like, you know what? Let's, visually make this pop and like really catch people's attention. And at first I'm like, oh, is this too like corny, is this played out? But everybody loved the designs. And during San Diego Comic-Con we had a panel, and Jordan was saying how his son saw one of our characters and was like, I want to read that. And it's like his son is like a preteen, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
that's exactly the reaction that I want. I want people who are like maybe not like too in, maybe they're not the craziest of fans, as in like they're not, fanatics of comics, but if I can have anyone read it or look at it and be like, yeah, yeah, I want to give this a chance just for vibes alone, I'm like, I think we created something really cool. And when they said anything, I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do.
Her design is so sick. I'm very curious about the mask and her weapon. How did you come about those specific designs for that? Because the weapon is unlike anything else I've seen in maybe any comic because it's so specifically not Western.
Well, it's like Tokebi is like a goblin, right? And
Mm,
so she has like the goblin style mask. It's just half, right? I think it's like what does anime do that's cool? It's just cool looking. It's just bizarre looking. Like I forgot what it's called, but it's a kanabo, and it's like a Japanese it's a Japanese version of mace, like
mm,
like a morning star, right? But I was like, okay, but this is gonna be like anime, right? So you got to make it massive, right? And then she also has like these superpowers, so she can, of course, she can wield that like no problem. So, and it's like I have to incorporate all my cultures in there, right? Being like Korean and like a little Japanese, and that's what I am also as well. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make her to what I think is cool and fun. And I think visually immediately, because Brian and I created something really cool, but everyone else did something amazing. Like I was like, shit, that's a really good idea. I have
mhm.
to really step it up. I mean, like some of these ideas, I was like, oh, that's really cool, right? And so I was like, how can I do a step up? How can I step one step up above the rest? And it's like visually she has to really like capture like immediately. Like if you look at it from across the room in a comic shop, you're like, what was that? That's what I want. And I think we nailed it, but we'll
uh,
see.
I'm only one voice, but I think she's got the kind of streetwear anime like
Oh yeah, I love
it's
streetwear,
it's
so
such a good it and it fits the minor threats where like all of Scott Hepburn's like designs are so like iconic for this
oh
world, but
yeah.
it fits the whole aesthetic. But like I think it is very much your style, but also fits so well in this world in like its own way. I again texted
Oh
Jordan
yeah, I mean,
multiple
I
times.
watched.
Like
Yeah, I looked at Scott's I mean, I was rereading the pages like religiously to like get the vibe of what the costumes look like and what the color actually is too, so I can kind of follow through with what that looks like. So it's not too different, if that makes sense. Like
mhm.
we still did our thing, but I'm trying to keep it so that when you do read it, you're like, oh yeah, this does give that minor threats feel.
I was actually curious about your coloring choices in this. What was your specific palette going in? Like, did you have a specific color set in mind that you wanted to explore through this issue, or was it something that came along as you were designing the character and your specific set in the world?
Well, again, because it's anime, you gotta go like heavy on the saturated colors, right? Something very bright, something that'll catch your attention, even if like it's just talking heads. I want to make sure that the colors like will bring you to your attention no matter what scene it is. And whenever I do any colors, I do like movie theme schematics. It's like this is an action scene, so I'll do a red. This is a red tone for like the next 5 pages. Then if it's like the flashback, it's like yellow represents friendship, right? So I made sure it was like a very like pastel comforting color. And then so every scene is like thematically set in my head, and then I put it out hopefully. And then in the back matter, if we do like a cool thing, there's like a process of what the colors look like. So it's like blue theme, purple theme, green scene, stuff like that. And then it's like I'm making sure that the colors vibe with what's happening in the action. And like, hopefully that makes sense when the readers are, reading it. And like there's a scene with Tokebi and Frankie like talking when they see each other, and that's a very specific color because it's like it's supposed to be a little sad, a little like mysterious, it's like a reunion thing. So I wanted to make sure it like gave you the feeling of like uncertainty, but also like it's a little sad. Um, but again, it has to be like a manga, so, or like an anime. So I wanted to make sure that it pops. So even if like everything was um just like a minor scene, I still wanted it
Mhm.
to be visually it'll catch your attention.
It's the coloring. I was so excited to see that you were doing both because like I love seeing an artist get to do both on an issue. So it was like, oh, so good. Now, I know you said you didn't want to get too flowery with the issue, Brian. For both of you, was it harder to do this in a single, like, I can't remember how many pages, 22 or 28, versus maybe doing this in like a mini series or something like that? Did you find a challenge of keeping it so concise?
Oh, for sure, but I don't look that as a negative. I looked at
Mhm.
like we were talking the other day, like a lot of my heroes will talk about like how good they do when there's parameters. Like there's something really interesting about that. Like you can do whatever you want, but only in this box, right? And you're like, okay, well, let me see what I can do to make that unique and special. Like the Ridley Scott quote I quote all the time is about how he pines about how Blade Runner is his best movie because that's really the only one that they wouldn't let him have his budget, right? So he got super creative and started painting Star Wars toys and to trying to make the city and stuff.
Mhm.
And and he has a quote about there's no there's nothing stopping you from being creative. Like it's if anything, it's an excuse for creativity. So when I look at okay, we only have 20 pages, so every one of them has to count, and everyone has to say something. And then and as Sue was describing with her color theory and cinematography ideas, like so yeah, don't just color willy-nilly. Like everything should matter. Everything should mean something. And even if like the audience reads it and just read it and not fully engage with the color theory instead when you feel a certain way and then you read it's because of these choices. I'm like you did it right. So it's just an excuse to really make sure that every line counts like and I picked over this to death to make sure that if they're not verbose to make sure that every word they're saying is illuminating to some part
Mhm.
of them. So yeah, so that to me it's a gift when you have like a parameter. I don't care if it's 8 pages, 5 pages, or 7,000 pages. It's still a journey, no matter what.
I love that. Now, my final question. This is for you, Sue. I don't want to give away the dialogue on the first page because I do think it is very satirical and very funny. But I do have a specific question. Are those raccoons? Are they tanukis?
They're tenuke suits.
Sick. That's all I have. This issue is so good. There hasn't been a bad issue of Minor Threats yet, and I'm very glad that
That was the challenge is that it's they no one's done a bad issue yet. So you're like,
yeah,
oh, let's not be us.
yeah,
That's the like
don't let it be you.
Yes.
But I've had that feeling on other books where when you get Daredevil, you're like, oh, don't be the guy that screwed up Daredevil. Like
Yeah.
that's a great creative legacy, and you just want to make sure you're not you know the asterisk.
You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know what? I mean, isn't that a testament to the world that they built, right? It's like everyone, oh my God, I can't stress enough. I haven't read everyone's books yet, but like everyone's stories that they create, I know what they're about. It's just like so good. I don't know. It's one of those things where you're like, you could have done it for any other world in any universe. Like they could have done it themselves in something else. But I'm like, but there's a reason why everyone stepped up and was made sure that this was the story that they wanted to tell so wholeheartedly with the team that they chose, um, to make sure that they're making a big impact. I think Jordan and Patton created something really cool that everyone like lovingly wanted to contribute to. And it wasn't just like a throwaway thing that they're like, yeah, no, this was cool. And then I make my mark and then that's it. Right. There's something really special about that, I think.
It's also, I think people know this, but like, sometimes there's people who are well known in other areas come to comics, sometimes with good intentions and sometimes with with content IP intentions. And I know I may sound a bit hypocritical because because of the way things have laid out, but me and my friends, it's always comics first, right? It's always about the medium, and I think people know that Patton is a lifelong diehard and has been literally on and off writing comics the whole time I've been in comics. So I knew this commitment to this universe wasn't some cynical thing. It was a real, they really believed in this and really wanted to do it. And I want, as a fan, and as someone who's been very kind to me over the years, as Patton has been, I really wanted to make sure that we delivered something that was what I wanted to honor the space, and so that was my goal beyond "Don't Suck" is making sure that we celebrate everything that's going on around us.
I I think
Yeah.
I think the biggest strength of like the minor threats and everything that we've seen in these stories is that they're they're the things you know. They're the tropes you know about superheroes and things like that, but they're telling these adult stories and like themes and exploring a lot of stuff without the like airs of pretentiousness or like needing to like make a bigger I don't know, make a bigger stink about things.
It's not a cynical
Yeah,
universe of
it's not
heroes,
cynical.
and a lot of universes are Watchmen babies, and Powers
Yes.
was a Watchmen baby as well. So I'm not talking out of school, but there was, we live in still in a very post-Watchmen universe. I like Patton do believe there are flavors and ideas to explore post Watchmen slash The Boys that is I think not only necessary but for me the only thing I'm interested in writing about at the moment. In fact, getting to do this got me back thinking about that and what I do feel about this and where I think these things are going and what they mean and what they will mean in a few years. So this book, on top of it being just a good experience, got me off my ass on a much bigger project that will be announced in just a couple of
That's
weeks, actually.
that's gonna
Yeah,
be
and I mean, and for me, I mean, I not only is like I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing in this space, like Brian said, I'm like, oh my God, this is like a team of the most incredible comic creators in the universe. And I'm like, oh, I gotta step it up. I feel like I am the little tiny goldfish in this giant pool. And I'm like, how do I make sure I keep my place? There was like added extra good stress. But I think it also like helped me be like, okay, I'm gonna really, really do like something that I really want to do and do a really good job.
See, Sue is just had her first taste of what it's like to follow Matt Fraction on something, and I have been
Oh
living with
boy.
Matt is one of my bestest friends in the whole universe, and I have been literally living with this energy like for decades, and it is a great feeling, though. Like to me, it is. I just know uh, Matt, just knowing Matt has made me a better writer. Just like being in goofing around with him about M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening has made me a better writer. And so being in that space with him and Mike Allred, who I came up with at Caliber, these are people I admire deeply. And it just there's that extra level of
Yeah.
all right, well, they're going to do the best one. So that's just this, we'll just try not to screw up.
But like
So hopefully your their Matt's fans are nice to us because they know that you guys are besties, and they're like, okay, this is good. I read the reviews. Someone was saying how they laughed so hard reading issue one. I'm like, shit, that's a really good review. Damn, that's gonna be tough.
Don't worry, yeah, don't go down. Just enjoy the
yeah,
space. Just
yeah. Don't
yeah.
yeah, the reviews are you never have to read this. You're in
Oh
the
no,
same
I love reading reviews. I'm the freak of my friends.
you
I'm actually unfazed by them.
You'll get
that's
over it.
yeah, I'm sorry. Sue, you're in the same league now. Just think about that. I need you to take that one home because
Thank you.
you're in the league. Don't ever doubt yourself because I will write any review you need to make sure you understand that.
I will
Yep.
Um,
definitely send you emails. Thank
yeah,
you.
this I and like I'm glad you brought up watching because like for so long, Watchmen's always been that book that like when someone's like, "Oh, I want to read comics, but I don't want to read like Batman and Superman or whatever." This is the book that I want people to hand out now. Like I want them to read Minor Threats because like it's it's not cynical. It's like a
No.
book about like the people who were the underdogs getting over, like and stopping, and even if like they don't do the right thing all the time, they still try to do the best they can. Like it's just Minor Threats is the, and I don't say
No,
this because Jordan is my friend. I say this because it's a good fucking book.
no, yeah, yeah, and Jordan's doing an outstanding job.
Yeah. And
Uh,
Pat, I don't know. Patton's not a personal friend. I know him, but he's not like Jordan's a personal friend, and you're gonna make him cry when he hears what you said. So,
well, and I did tell him to his face. It's we live in a world where some collaborations can get toxic, some collaborations can just be off center, and some can be inspiring to the deepest.
mhm.
It being part of it and watching it can be inspiring. And also when you see someone doing it right, you can't help but go, yay! You're so excited that you're using your life energy correctly, right? And so it's lovely to be around. It's lovely to just be next to, and yeah, they're doing it right.
So good.
And I tell everybody, who will listen to me that the who are stuck in or find themselves in collaborations that may not be what they were hoping for. That yeah, you don't have to. No one's so talented they can talk to you disrespectfully.
Exactly.
And no, and
I
they
agree.
100%. And there's something goes on where people think because they wrote a good something that they can start talking down to people, and that is not the case
Never.
at all. And
Yep.
sometimes, sorry about that. Sometimes people, I don't know, like they think there's something
Yeah.
romantic about being in a bad creative relationship. I'm like, no, it's
No,
just
it's bad.
you won't like it, and you might be unpacking this for years. So
Yeah.
get out
The
of it
therapy's
now.
not worth it.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
no, it's not.
what else should people be picking up from both of you right now?
Oh, thanks for asking. But Stu, please go. What you got?
No, no, you go first. I have to think about it. I'm forgetting everything.
Well, I have a new book coming out in just a few weeks from Abrams Comics Art. It's Volume 3 of Phenomena, which is a book series I do with Andre Lima Araujo. It is a giant collaboration that Andre and I have been working on over multiple graphic novels. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It is an adventure series and a new kind of look at the Earth. And if you just take a look at it online, you'll see how stunning it is to look at. Every page is that beautiful. And this trilogy of graphic novels is one of the great joys of my life. Like I can't believe we got to do what we were talking earlier before we got on about the new spaces to publish things and new worlds to explore. And the reason I'm not writing Marvel or DC books right now is because I'm so invested in these new worlds and these new collaborations. And Phenomena is a huge swing, and I'm very, very excited that it exists in the world. And also,
Yeah.
the jinxworld.com will take you to all the other Dark Horse books that I'm doing right now. That is my home creatively, where we're doing Masterpiece with Alex Maleev, The Ones with Jacob Edgar, Powers. If you like Minor Threats, you will like our Powers library.
Ours is so good.
Thank you.
Ahead of its time too. There was a great show and
Thank you.
PlayStation Network. God,
Yeah, was it a network? It's hard to tell. But we are this calendar year celebrating our 25th anniversary, and we're about to make a big giant, and I know we're that old. And
hmm.
we're about to make a big announcement that I'm very, very excited about. And it is connected to the conversation we just had about minor threats and the universe.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, I texted Brian last night. I was like, funny story. What I used to work at an office, and I used to do comicsology for them. And Alias was one of the first books that I like put together on comicsology. Like if you go on the website and you see like all the discography of it, I like made everything up. I like put all the logos from the from the archives together, and I like slapped that book on for digital release, and then also Powers as well. So yeah, funny how everything comes full circle. And I remember reading Alias like while working on it and be like, that's really good, and Empowers too. So excited for you, Brian. I'm very thrilled.
And Michael Gatos and I, who created Jessica Jones, have a book series out from Dark Horse called Pearl. It's a Yakuza romance book that we're very, very proud of. And it is easily the best thing Michael Gatos has ever drawn. It's a staggering achievement of comic book art. So
yeah, he's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Your turn. I gave you plenty.
Yes.
I stalled. We're good.
No, it's good. I have Carmilla Volume 2 coming out. That's out already, and Volume 3, Volume 3 will be out in October. And also, again, Volume 1
or an ongoing.
No, it's a trilogy, and then that would be it. And then the first one, we did win the Bram Stoker Award. Although I am hoping I win the Bram Stoker Award one day.
It's a very different convention.
Hey, you know what? If I could have the honor of our book winning that. So yeah, all 3 volumes will be completed soon. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long journey. I really put my heart into that one. And then Chitara, the fully collected trade, is out. Domenico Carbone and I did that, and it's amazing. This is one of my first big writing gigs, so that was interesting. My Maleficent trade paperbacks and hardcovers are out as well. That's been out for a while. And then we did announce it, and so that's slowly coming along. We're doing a Wizard of Oz graphic novel through Dynamite to be kickstarted, and I'll keep everyone updated on that as well, which I'm excited for. I should send that to you, Brian, actually.
Please do.
It's massive, so be prepared. And then speaking of Star Wars, there may or may not be another Star Wars thing in the horizon for me of the scary genre. So we'll
hell
see.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. Sorry, that's very exciting for me personally. The scary Star Wars stuff is my favorite, so I'm just very excited to hear that. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for the lovely things you said. That you were very, very kind.
Yeah.
I mean it all. You can find us at gatecrashers.fan. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.